Spring 1999 Kim Yeon, the protagonist of the drama, also is studying at the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering. There are 17 girls who have transferred to the faculty. Kim Yeon called Seo Han-seol, a girl who was the best student among those who came to their faculty, and invited her to a student meeting at a bar, and he also offered to help her to bring her to the meeting. The pair started dating, and the teacher suggested that they take a test. Seo Han-seol replied to Kim Yeon's message, and she suggested that he meet her near the student council building. Kim Yeon went to meet the girl. At first sight, he fell in love. Kim Yeon's phone rang. He answered that the number he had been called to was no longer in service. The girl had a request for Kim Yeon. Since she hadn't been to the first welcome meeting, she didn't know the campus, what was where, so she asked him for help to show her around. They went to all the clubs that were on campus, and the girl was interested in ham radio. She wondered if anyone was involved in it at their faculty, but there was no one. Everyone was studying hard. Kim Yeon brought Han-seol to a bar where their faculty was having a meeting. A drunken guy sat down at their table and asked why she chose this particular faculty. He told her that there are 3 types of people: men, women, and women engineers. Kim Yeon wanted to change the subject and tried to smooth things over, but Han-seol couldn't stand it and said that the drunken student was an unbearable, rude asshole. The guy was escorted out of the bar. Han-seol went to the dorm to make it to curfew. Kim Yeon followed the girl. Han-seol was waiting for him at the bar, and the girl immediately ran up to him as soon as he came out and asked why he was taking so long. She was scared to be there alone. Kim Yeon walked Han-seol to the dormitory. The girl said that there would be a lunar eclipse at night. The boy turned and looked at the moon. Kim Yeon invited Han-seol to have lunch, and he bought her a meal. She accepted. Kim Yeon told his friend Eun-sung that he liked the girl. Eun-sung replied that he could not seduce freshmen. Kim Yeon asked his friend to borrow a ham radio that he had. Kim Yeon went home. At home, he told his turtle that he had met an unusual girl. Kim Yeon was watching the lunar eclipse. Han-seol was also watching the eclipse. The boy was filled with unusual feelings and emotions. There was a kind of wave on the radio ham that Kim Yeon borrowed from his friend. Kim Yeon and Han-seol walked together and talked about the end of the world. Kim Yeon admitted that he was not dating anyone, and Han-seol was surprised because he seemed like a popular guy. Han-seol confessed why she had entered the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering. She wanted to create a production system for small factories like her father's. But people are afraid of change, so she wants to help them so they don't lose their business like her father. Kim Yeon was impressed by how confident the girl was in her dream. She asked him what he wanted to do. Kim Yeon said that he wanted to kiss her. He did not realize that he said it out loud. When he started to try to get out of the situation, he saw his friend walking around the institute with a broken leg. Kim Yeon ran up to Eun-sung and helped him. At home, Kim Yeon couldn't understand how he could have said for kissing him. He didn't know what he had done and how to get out of the situation. Kim Yeon heard someone trying to contact him on ham radio, he answered, and on the other side he heard a girl's voice. The girl said that it was her first time using the radio and she was doing everything according to the instructions she got from her parents. Kim Yeon introduced himself, and it turned out that the girl he was talking to was also a student at the university. Studying sociology, her name was Moo Nai. She was doing an assignment and needed to interview a stranger. Kim Yeon offered her his help in exchange for a book on how to use ham radio. Kim Yeon wanted to ask Moo Nai more questions and suggested that they meet in person the next day at a payphone at noon. But the connection was cut off and he did not know if Moo Nai heard the time of the meeting. The next day, Kim Yeon waited for Moo Nai at the appointed place, but she was not there. Moo Nai came to the old building as Kim Yeon had asked her to, with a book on how to use the radio, but Kim Yeon was not there. Moo Nai was approached by her friend Moo Jae. She invited her friend to have a meal. She did not understand why Kim Yeon did not come. She was surprised that they were studying at the same university. It could be fate. Moo Jae didn't want to think about his fate in the future. He had a hard time during his student years. Moo Jae noticed that his girlfriend had a fever, so he asked her to take some medicine and left an umbrella so she wouldn't get wet on her way home. Moo Nai returned home. Moo Nai contacted Kim Yeon and they discussed why they hadn't come to the meeting as agreed. Moo Nai was coughing and said that she was sick because she had been waiting for him for 2 hours and was caught in a heavy rainstorm that continued during that time. She held the radio's microphone up to the window for Kim Yeon to hear, but he thought it was meat being grilled. The connection between them was cut off. Moo Nai called Kim Yeon a teenager, and the boy wondered what kind of word it was. It was the first time he had heard it. In class, Moo Nai wrote in her notebook that Kim Yeon was a liar. The teacher asked Moo Hee who she would interview, since she was the only one who hadn't handed in her presentation plan. In a cafe where Moo Nai was eating delicious food with her friends and thinking about who to interview, Moo Jae came in with a girl. The friend asked Moo Hee if she and Moo Jae were just friends. The girls thought that there was something more than just friendship between them. Kim Yeon was playing basketball with his friends and asked one of the boys if he knew what a teenager was. Han Seol came up to them. She wanted to go to the library to study, but freshmen were not allowed to use the library. Kim Yong saw the girl and went home, saying he had to study for a test. Kim Yong talked to Eun Sung about the boys running away from Han Seol, and that Kim Yong decided to ask Han Seol to be his girlfriend. The friend thought Kim Yeon was crazy for acting so quickly with a girl. Moon Nae came to the old student council building at night. A security guard saw her and asked what she was doing there. The girl replied that she was supposed to meet someone, but perhaps they had missed each other. The guard suggested that she use an old payphone, where Moon Nae could find answers to her questions. She listened to the guard and went into the payphone booth and began to read the inscriptions made by students over the years. Moon Nae talked to Kim Yeon. The girl admitted that she had spoken harshly to him last time, but she really waited for 2 hours. Kim Yeon admitted that he had also waited for her for more than 2 hours. Moon Nae suggested that they could chat on the app. Kim Yeon was surprised that the guy didn't know what an app was. Moon Nae told him about the ONG app, and she was surprised that he had never heard the word before. Moon Nae asked in what year Kim Yeon entered the institute, and it turned out that the guy entered in 1995 and Moon Nae in 2021. They did not believe each other that they were in different years. Moon Nae asked for Kim Yeon's phone number. When she dialed his number to call him, she heard that the number was not valid. Moon Nae made an appointment to meet the next day at noon at a payphone, and if they didn't meet, Kim Yong would have to leave her a message on the left side of the payphone. Kim Yong left a message on the payphone for Moon Nae. In time, Moon Nae saw the message that Kim Yong had written to her. Moon Nae told her friends what was happening to her. A friend advised her to interview the guy. Kim Yeon called Han Seol to meet him. He apologized for the day he said he kissed her. Moon Nae tried to contact Kim Yeon, but the guy wrote her name wrong on the payphone. The girl apologized for not coming. Moon Nae went to see a friend who was about to drop out of university because he needed money and found a job. Moon Nae shared with Kim Young what happened to her friend. She thought she knew her friend very well, but it was the opposite. Moon Nae asked what Kim Young wanted to ask her when they met. It was about dating. Since Kim Yeon had no experience in relationships, he wanted to know how to behave in order to make her like him. Moon Nae helped him. She helped him with his clothes and hair. And when she said that the most important thing now was to plan a date properly, she heard from Kim Yeon that he had already thought of everything. After hearing the date plan, Moon Nae was shocked, and she suggested that they end the date at a bar for a drink. Han Seol enjoyed the date. She was fascinated by Kim Young. Kim Yeon asked Moon Nae to help him choose a movie to take his beloved to. When Moon Nae said Siri, Kim Yeon heard the phone ring and asked if there was anyone else in the room with Moon Nae. The date went very well for the couple. Han Seol was falling in love with Kim Yeon. After the movie, the couple went to the arcade. Moon Nae told the teacher that she was interviewing a student who was a student in 1999. The topic of the interview was dreams and love. Moon Nae asked Kim Yeon what his student life was like, whether he had chosen what he would do after graduation. Does he have any dreams? Kim Young said that he has dreams, but he wants to get rid of them because they are useless. Moon Nae said that dreams shouldn't be like that. The girl also asked about the stages of the conversation, and Moon Nae suggested that he confess his feelings and then his beloved girl would look at him differently. Moon Nae wondered what kind of girl he was in love with. Kim Yeon characterized her as a miracle that he met at a time when he was desperate. She is the person for whom he wants to become better, and this could be his new dream. Moon Nae suggested that he follow his heart. It will always help him. Kim Yeon proposed to Han Seol that they go out. The girl agreed. He was very happy. Kim Yeon told Moon Nae that he had started dating Han Seol. Kim Yeon asked her if she liked anyone. The girl replied that if she had a moment, she had already missed it. She always had to hide her feelings. Moo Jae invited Moon Nae to go on a trip with him. Moon Nae tried her best not to fall in love with Moo Jae, but she couldn't do it. Kim Yeon became curious about Moon Nae. They felt like they had known each other for a long time. Moon Nae asked Kim Yeon what department he was studying in. It turned out that she was the daughter of his friend Eun Sung. Kim Yeon couldn't believe it. Moon Nae tried to prove to him that they were communicating through a time machine. Moon Nae suggested that maybe he knew his mother. Her mom's name was Seo Han Seol. Kim Yeon asked if she was lying to him about Han Seol and Eun Sung getting married, but it was true. Moon Nae hadn't lied to him. He couldn't believe what she was saying. Moon Nae looked at the photo of her parents and talked to Muk Man, the turtle who lived with them, and asked what was going on. Kim Yeon saw Eun Sung touching Han Seol's hair. Kim Yeon was having a hard time holding back his emotions, so he took Eun Sung aside and asked him to tell him the truth, whether he knew Kim Moon Nae. but Eun Sung did not know a girl with that name. Kim Yong thought he was being played. Kim Yong picked up Han Seol and they left. Kim Yeon asked why she was with Eun Sinong. Han Seol replied that since she was the freshman representative, she had to communicate with the head of the student council. Mooney was looking for information about Kim Young. She was looking at her father's graduation photo album. She was afraid to miss the most important events in her life that were to come soon, she told Moonai, but she could not explain why she thought so. Moonai thought she was acting strangely. Muji asked her the name of the guy Muji was looking for. Kim Yeon wouldn't let Han Seol go anywhere without him where she could be with Eun Seong. This behavior confused Eun Sung. Eun Sung was waiting for Kim Young. Eun Sung knew his friend well. They talked about the future, that Kim Young was going to live his life doing something he didn't like. Kim Young dreamed of being a writer. Nan Hai, Kim Young's friend, brought the freshman to his house. Eun Sung saw the students and left them. Han Seol came into Kim Young's room and saw a lot of books and Haim's radio. Han Seol asked her to teach her how to use the radio, but Kim Young promised that he would do it another time. She took out a photo of them together and glued it to the left edge of the radio as a sign of a promise she would wait for. Moonai searched through her father's old things for something about Kim Young. She found a photo of her father and Kim Yeon together. Moonai received a phone call from her mother. Mom told her daughter about Kim Young. He was her first love. He suddenly disappeared, and no one knew where he went. Mooney asked Mujai if she could have said something to Kim Yeon that could have caused them to break up with her mother. There was a basketball game at the university, and Kim Yeon couldn't concentrate on the game. He kept looking at Eun Sung and Han Seol, and he couldn't bear to watch them sit and talk together. Kim Young approached his friend and slapped him across the face. Eun Sung stood up for him in front of Han Seol despite his friend's behavior. Kim Young wanted to contact Moonai. He couldn't ignore it anymore. His heart was filled with suspicion. Kim Yeon thought that his love was no longer as strong as it had been. His turtle came out of Kim Young's room. Kim Yeon asked if Han Seol's dreams had come true and if she was happy at that time. Kim Young realized that if he continued to date Han Seol, Moonai might not be born. Im Young called for Mok Man, but the turtle was nowhere to be found. The boy noticed the turtle's footprints on the floor, ending at the balcony. Kim Young went downstairs and started looking for Mok Man on the street. It started to rain. Kim Young could not let the turtle disappear. Mok Man could not leave him. Kim Yeon saw Han Seol holding Mok Man in her arms and Eun Sung standing next to her. The couple was standing under the same umbrella. Han Seol was smiling happily. Kim Young turned around and left. He couldn't do anything else. He felt pitiful. He wanted to stop holding on to Han Seol. Kim Young remembered all the best moments he had spent with his beloved. She was love at first sight. Even if he could turn back time, he would love her again. Han Seol was everything to Kim Young. He would be lying if he said that he was fine, but it could have been worse, so he asked Moonai not to worry about him. Kim Young never got in touch with Moonai again. Moonai tried to get in touch with him. She wanted to tell Kim Yeon something, but he didn't answer. Moonai looked at the downpour outside the window. She put her hand out to feel the rain. Moonai made a presentation. She said that she could not meet him in person, but when she talked to him, she found in him what she had been hiding inside herself. It was love. They say that romance existed in the past, but it is always there. People always love, but try to ignore it because of various problems in life. Moonai wanted love not to be an obstacle in reality, for it to be everywhere and everyone to be in love, for romance to be a reality. Muji was looking for Moonai. A friend passed a book called Time Traveler to the girl. The guy thought that this book was written by Kim Young. There was an autograph session in the city. Moonai could meet him. Moonai ran to meet Kim Young. Moonai approached the writer's table. The author greeted her and asked her name, and she answered Kim Moonai. Kim Young looked up and they stared at each other's faces. Kim Young signed the book, gave it to the girl, and asked how Mok Man was doing. Kim Young thanked her for coming. Moonai realized that Kim Young was her miracle. Moonai opened the book to read what Kim Yeon had written to her, and it said, "The heart can never be deceived if you follow its call. Your old friend Kim Yeon." Moonai confessed to Muji that she had liked him for a long time. In response, she got the message that he liked her too. They hugged and walked away holding hands. Muji recalled that on the day Moonai was waiting for Kim Young, he saw her at an old payphone. Then it suddenly started to rain and a stranger with an umbrella appeared in front of him, handing Muji an umbrella and telling him that Moonai shouldn't catch a cold.